Here we are, another Friday morning live, November 7th, 2025. I think I remember the sound. Let's see if it works. It's just to make sure we have sound. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Test. Okay, we got sound. Hope everybody's doing great. Got a beautiful half sunny day. We got clouds, sun mix here. I don't know, might get some rain. But looks like snow on the weekend, man. I don't know. Early snow, November. Well, every year's a surprise, but generally we know the seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, and with variations each year. There's always variations. And, it's always full of surprises, and that's the way a fasting lifestyle is. It's always full of surprises. There's never two fasts that are the same. Every single fast is a new experience, new learning, new ideas, new feelings, new releases. It's all about purging, purging. The art of subtraction, the MFS art of subtraction, you know, through the lifestyle of living less with less than more is more. Less is more. This is what we want to focus on, right? Less is more. That's the lifestyle. Hey, Brad, weather modification, yeah. That's one thing we know for sure, that what they're doing with all the crazy things that have been going on, storms that we've never seen. These are definitely not something that nature produces. Like storms in the desert, snowstorms, and so on and so forth, and crazy stuff. Jamaica's now wiped out, part of Jamaica. Strongest winds ever recorded. Like, where does this stuff come from? We have to just question, and we know the power of nature, and we know that weather has been modified for many, many decades, maybe much longer, maybe thousands of years for all we know. Because they do not have a Weather Modification Act in the legal system for no reason. It's there because it's to keep people under control who are playing with the weather, who want to try and play with the weather. So there's restrictions and so on and so forth, but militaries have been doing it for a long time, and who knows who else. Let's focus on, the divine plasma love always flowing, living in peace, balance, correct conduct. This is what's going to make the changes on this planet. With all the severe greed that's been going on, especially after the lockdowns. It's unreal what's going on. Brad, plans before storm in Jamaica. Yeah, I've seen that. Yep. Every single place that we've seen this happen, there was plans. Every single place. Hawaii, the other ones in the U.S. It was in Canada. They had a couple, 2 or 3. I can't remember now. Every single place they've had pre-plans from a few years back or several years back It's always the same story. This stuff cannot be hidden anymore. You know, there's one thing about evil. Evil always makes mistakes. Everything is recorded. And somebody out there always has a copy because there's billions of us on the planet. And, you know, that's the beauty of the internet. Everybody has access to the information. That's why they were trying to suppress and shut down and not have um, uh, people access to truth. Anything about truth is attacked. Anything that's diabolical is spread, violently, forced down our throats. So we have to have little discernment, and best way I found is in a fasting state. The true fasting state, right, is our true natural state. So when we're in our natural state, we can see. Our eyes open up, and we can see, so that nothing can be. We cannot be hoodwinked. You know, can't be deceived easily, unless we allow ourselves to be deceived. So, you know, when we're going through, like, in our deep in our fasting states, and we're going through um, you know, heavy duty healing reactions, all the negative information is going to come to us, right? About, you know, you're going to kill yourself and this and that, blah blah blah, and all sorts of things, because they want to put fear into people that this is not you know, the body healing. The body's getting in trouble. This is what being put out there. When, you know, you trust in our divine creator with a perfect design, a perfect system that is able, the body is able to restore itself and heal anything. When you put all your trust in that, you don't have to worry about all that monkey mind garbage, caca propaganda that is being put out there 24/7 more than ever. Just let it all go. Walk away from it and allow the transformation to take place. Allow. That's what it's all about. As long as we put our full trust, we have to put our full trust. We don't have to. We choose to put our full trust. We're not forced to do anything. We choose to put our full trust in our divine creator and his design. Your America runs on Duncan. Yeah, that's not only America, the whole friggin' West. But yeah, we put our full trust in things that have a solid foundation in creation, right? We don't want to play with. We don't want to play with theories and opinions and what do they call those? Computer. What do they call that again? When the computer gives information out. Damn, it's slipping my mind. You know, I guess I think you know what I mean, but all this stuff is make believe, fiction. You go into a courtroom, it's all fiction. There's no facts in courtrooms. It's all fiction. So, you know, you go anything in the legal system, it's all fiction. It's all man-made. You know, we got to go back to the hardcore facts. AI, yeah, AI as well. That's the new kid on the block. AI. You know, these tools that we can use them for good things, right? This you know, we have to be careful because AI, I use it a lot, but I always cross-reference it with about 2 or 3 different AIs, and I find that it makes a lot of mistakes and it lies. So you have to be careful with these things, because garbage in, garbage out. Who programmed these things? You have to ask. So they can be very helpful, but we got to be careful. We can't put our full trust in any of these things. We have to verify things. We can save a lot of time using them, but we have to verify. We have to be prudent and wise in using any of these things. Um, you know, so it is what it is. It is what it is. But we got to choose. We have to make the choice. There's not much alternatives out there. It's all treatment-based addition thinking, and that we're deficient, we're lacking, we're whatever. And this is the furthest thing from the truth. The divine creator created abundance. Our soul has access to that infinite abundance of all knowledge of divine creation. We have access to it. How do we access to it? How do we access it? We get into our natural fasting state. And we do it over and over and over and over again. It's not an event that we do once and we're all good. We do it over and over and over again, and we start learning more and more and more each time we get into our fasting natural states. And that's the way it is. It's not, there's no rocket science here. It's all basic stuff. Computers, they've been a curse and a blessing altogether, just like people can use a knife for killing, or a knife for sculpting, cutting, carving, eating, whatever. Pasha, hey, how you doing? Gino, I was on 2 days IMFS, third day, lots of vomiting, nausea, broke fast at 11 p.m. bubbly. However, nausea didn't stop. Yeah, well, what have you been doing? What do I suggest? Keep going. Keep digging. Body needs to purge. Body needs to purge. Yeah, the answers are in plain sight. The body does not vomit, and have the nausea for no reason. These are all signs of severe obstructions. Also could be chemical related. We're being affected by chemicals and frequencies, one of the same in all directions, 24/7, So what do we need to do? We need to purge and purge some more. Everybody feels better after they vomit. I surely do. When was the last time? I got seasick, and we went on a little fishing tour. I went with some buddies I grew up with in the summer, and man, we had some some waves. I haven't been on a boat in ages, and I got seasick. Me and another friend of mine, we both got seasick. Throwing up. It wasn't a great feeling. And then went another time, and it was dry fasting, and then I brought some ginger and stuff, and I wasn't as bad. I was able to handle it, but it was worse the second time with the waves than the first time. But I got through it. So, I don't know. I mentioned this probably years ago when I was doing. I was building machines. I worked on this line of machines that it was welding these beams for shelving, and the conveyors were running these beams, and these things were ringing like loud, like bells, like just lots of these, hundreds of these beams, and everybody in the shop was complaining. I was working on this line. I was building this machine, and I had severe tinnitus because this line we were running it for, I don't can't remember. And I was well, building it and everything was a long time, but when we started, running it and so on, it was about at least a week or more, and all that noise created this tinnitus, and I couldn't, it wasn't going away, and I'm going, what's going on? Because you go to a rock concert and you get the tinnitus, and then you have for a day or two, and it goes away. Anyway, this tinnitus never ended up going away, and I ended up getting severe imbalance problems. So I did damage somewhere in my middle ear from that noise. It was that bad, and it was not pleasant. Horrific tinnitus, like a tea kettle blasting in your ear 24/7, and it was affecting my balance, and it was nausea, and that's when I decided that I had to make some changes, and that's when I went raw. Not long after that, and no more fasting and so on and so forth. So, um, yeah, it was the wheatgrass, ocean-grown wheatgrass. We were growing ocean-grown in wheatgrass. I mean, wheatgrass grown with diluted ocean water, and that really helped me a lot with that. That really helped me. But the fasting, nothing like fasting. So, you know, yeah, seasick is awful. I never experienced it before, but yeah, we got to deal with the obstructions. So, um, why did my ears get damaged? Is it because of the noise, or is it because of the obstructions that were in my physical, mental, emotional bodies? Well, I was going through a lot of stress at that time as well. Not only the physical, emotion, seed of all, right? It's emotion. So yeah, that's the cause is the obstructions, and the noise is the trigger to create the the problem that manifests in the physicality. So we have to look at all aspects, Pasha. What's going on, stresses, relationships, what we're eating is a huge, huge part, because we're doing it. Most people are doing it every day, and some people are doing it several times a day. So yeah, I would focus on purging. That's what I would do, but I would make it a lifestyle, right? Weekly, every week, 3 days, get up to 3 days minimum, and stayed on that for the most part. Move up and down. Move up to level 7 for a week, go back down, but on the most part, you want to be on at least three to 4 days a week, and work with that, make it happen. Of course, fruit, that's a given. Um, Eating and healing do not belong in the same sentence. We've said that probably tens of thousands of times. Was vomiting multiple times. How can I stop it? I wouldn't try stopping vomiting. I would just do enemas. Yeah, remember, the first line of defense: enemas, breath work. Not trying to stop vomiting. The body's trying to purge an obstruction. We do not want to stop it. It's not comfortable. It's horrific, but we do not want to stop that. Make it happen. Allow it to happen. You got to try and relax. When I was getting seasick, I had a vertebrae that I had was slightly out from jiu-jitsu elbow jab, and I just got myself into a really relaxed state. I had my head overboard and splashing my face. I was just so relaxed and throwing up, just relaxed. You know, it's not comfortable. You know, we know that throwing up, it puts a lot of pressure in the convulsions. They just got so relaxed, and that vertebrae went back into place after that. You know, just coming to my memory now. So, purging, purging is the road to healing. That's what I believe. Everybody can choose whatever they want to believe, right? I would allow it to happen to enemas. I didn't have access to enemas on the boat, but as soon as we got on land, I was fine. Um, we had some fruit, had some dates, and that was good to go. But yeah, so I don't know, because of what happened at experience with the machine, working on the machines. So there's some damage in there, but um, for the most part, I'm okay. The five Tibetan rites, you have the 21 spins. Um, I wasn't able to do, two. I couldn't do two spins. I can do 21 spins, no problem. Some days I'll get a little bit dizzy. Just this is one pressure points patch as well, right? This is one pressure point. There's pressure point, 3 fingers. If you can see, 3 fingers from the crease. There's a point there, and a point just over there. These 2 points, if you can look it up, these are for nausea and motion sickness, and you just press and hold them. This one, right? I believe this one, the 1,000-point junction. But you don't need to do them all. The wrists, both sides. You just hold it, press counterclockwise, nice firm pressure to help, the nausea, because the convulsing is not fun. But I'd want to allow the purging to happen, and then just use the pressure points to help calm down and get rid of that nausea. But what's going to do it is the release of the obstructions. Let it happen. That's always the answer is going to be subtraction. We can use tools, all the tools I mentioned, including herbs and stuff. Ginger, I mentioned ginger. Ginger's one that helps. Sniffing, essential oils, peppermint. Peppermint is mint. Peppermint is one for nausea. I don't know, you can look up, I don't remember. There's many things, but get it out, let it out. So that's what I would suggest. The last thing I would be doing is myself is breaking the fast, unless I was in a real horrific state and I had no alternative, because I needed to do whatever that's more important than healing, which is extremely rare. There's nothing more important than healing, because if you're dead, you can't do much, right? Yeah, so he can try. He can try more breath work. Yeah, breath work and enemas, of course. Brad, that's number one. They go hand in hand. Anyway, anybody got any more questions? This is the realm of purging, master fast system, where we purge like no other. We want to get into that natural fasting state as often as possible as a lifestyle. And clean, minimal eating is the name of the game. John, watching from Minnesota. Oh, you get around, John. You get around. Alrighty, so no questions. So yeah, let's get that plasma, divine plasma love always flowing out there. Send it out to all those in dire needs, and let's pierce the hearts and souls of the evil ones, that they may see and drop all their weapons. Simon, hey, how you doing from London? Gino, have you ever considered camp at your house fasting? I've considered it, but not something I would have interest in guiding people in like a retreat center or something. We've considered it years ago and stuff. Actually, we were highly considering it, but dealing with people on one-on-one is, you're very, very limited, and it's a lot of there's a lot of energy expelled. Being on social media with thousands of people, there's a lot of energy expelled, but it's a different energy working directly with people, and you're dealing with emotions directly. It's not something that I have interest in myself. I believe that the best way for people is in their homes, and having access to the correct information, and support people around them that are supporting it. Yeah, if you're at a retreat center, you're going to have people that are supporting you, but you're going to be going back home. And if there's not support, that's going to be the most important part when you go back home, right? You need the support at home, and if that's not there, that's the people that we see failing. They get blasted with bullcrap information and get into a fearful state, and end up going into the white jacket system and end up getting killed. I've seen it one too many times. So the relationships, emotions, remember we're always talking about that. There's people in very difficult and challenging situations, and that needs to get sorted out in order to heal. That's going to be the key. So yeah, fasting centers, there's several out there, and they all have different opinions and different theories and so on and so forth, and use different things, water fasting, juice fasting. We don't support any of that stuff ourselves. We're into master fasting. There's also dry fasting clinics, and they have their own theories, and I don't agree with how they're breaking their fast and so on and so forth, and how they're entering their fast. So yeah, I see where you're saying. The best thing is work on repairing the core issues of the emotions with the relationships, and if that can't make it happen, it's got to be got to be some separation, I believe. It's sad, but I don't know what else to tell you. Uh, if there's no leeway with the other people or other person, and you need to heal, you have to decide: is it more important to stay and not heal, or is it more important for you to heal? I can't make that decision. Everybody, some people, they're gonna stay and they're gonna choose to go, and that's their free will choice, right? We can't make those decisions for people. All these retreats, the raha, yeah. It's a wonderful feeling. I've been on a couple of different of these retreats things years ago. You go home and then it all fades away and you're back to your old self, and that's. So if we don't have the core foundation built through repetition of actually living and loving it, like I'm saying, living and loving like 3 days a week, 4 days a week, fasting state continuously, if it's not on a weekly basis, either a bi-weekly or at least a monthly basis that we're having fasting in our life. If we're not consistently fasting, we're not living a fasting lifestyle, and we're into eventing, and people are going to get results with eventing. Absolutely, they're going to get results if they do like 108 days. Yeah, what happens after? What happens after? That's the question, and that's what I, you know, uh, have no interest in guiding people in 108 days anymore, because people lie to themselves and they lie to everybody else. So I just like to deal with people that are in serious fasting lifestyle states. And this is why MFS has become what it's become now, very calm, and no more drama and so on and so forth, right? But anyway, life continues. We'll continue to be here for as long as I decide to continue to be here. It's moving on to almost 11 years. In the new year, it'll be 11 years on social media sharing, and it started in January of 2015. So 11 years is coming up, man, and it's over a decade. But yeah. Make it happen, live it, love it at home, and then you save a lot of money. These retreats, it costs a lot of money to have these things happening, right? It's and then there's responsibilities and so on and so forth. There's a lot in there. Anyway, with that said, it's been a blast. Live it, love it. The art of subtraction with clean, minimal eating. Clean, minimal eating. My body works best on minimal eating. If I overeat or eat too many times in a week, I'm not doing well. I don't need to experiment anymore. I know what the results are from myself, from all the 35 years of experiences, and from thousands of people, fasting experiences, right? So with that said, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you back on the page. Next call is Wednesday, Facebook Live, 3:06 p.m. Toronto Standard Time. And have a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Plaf, plaf, plaf.